Flag for the Pledge of Allegiance. You may be seated. At this time, under public comments, we have Mr. Go ahead, Mr. Arjona.
Yes, Mayor, Commissioners, good evening, staff, community members. Mayor, if I may, I'd like to change the order on the presentations and get the presentation of the Texas Amateur Athletic Federation Local Athletes of the Year first.
Okay, sure.
Mr. Patrick Willingham.
Good evening, Mayor, Commission.
Sure.
It's an honor to stand before you today to present two special athletes from here locally, from the city of San Juan. These two athletes had a great summer representing the city, both locally and at the state level as well. So every year we're given the opportunity to recognize two athletes from the state, from the Texas Amateur Athletic Federation. Before I go into them, I just want to take a brief moment to recognize some staff, and really all our staff at Parks and Rec. Our programs are growing every year. We're getting bigger. Just alone in track, from 2 years ago, when we first arrived, we had 30 athletes. Fast forward 2 years, we had 245 athletes this summer in track and field. That was 100. We grew by 100 just from last summer. So that program is growing. We're getting more and more recognition down here. Our tennis program as well. A couple of years ago, we were about 10 athletes. Last year, we're about 20, 25, and this year we were 30, close to 40 athletes. So that has also tripled in numbers. So our programs are growing. Staff's doing a great job. I'd like to recognize my recreation supervisor, Mr. Ramiro Moreno. Who's doing an outstanding job, overseeing the programs and helping us grow the programs. Also here, I believe, my assistant director, Ruben Guajardo, also does a great job of coordinating all the programs. And all our staff, from our front staff to our park staff, everybody plays a role, especially in the summer months, getting facilities ready, keeping them up to par, getting them open, getting them prepared for these athletes day in and day out. So they all deserve a little bit of recognition tonight, and I want to thank you guys for the support and really recognize them for the outstanding work that they've done.
Let's go ahead and give them a big round of applause for the great work that they're doing. Good job, gentlemen.
First, we're going to recognize our female local athlete of the year. She is a junior at T-STEM High School here in PSJ. She plays tennis for the PSJ Bears. She was a gold medalist at state in the 16U singles division and a bronze medalist in the doubles division. So our 2019 female local athlete of the year is Miss Amaya Ross. We'll get a picture with both of them in just a second. We'll get a picture with. Hang on real quick. We'll get a picture with both of them in just a second. Next, our male local athlete of the year. This young man won 4 gold medals at the region track meet. Placed first in the 4x100 meter relay. First place in the 4x400 meter relay. First place in the 100 meter dash. First place in the long jump, and he got silver in the triple jump. At state, he brought home silver in the 4x400 meter relay and silver in the triple jump. He also had 2 other top 10 finishes at the state championships. So I'd like to recognize our male local athlete of the year, Mr. Andrew Castillo. He is a freshman at PSJ High School. Freshman at PSJ High and will be playing for the Bears this fall. So,
Hold on,
come.
I beat this, he's my neighbor.
Okay, now let's get a picture with everybody. Congratulations, guys. Again, on behalf of the Parks and Recreation Department, thank you guys for all your support, the community for supporting our programs and participation, and we look forward to recognizing more and more of our athletes in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item under presentations, presentation of departmental reports. Tonight we have the Department of Utilities, Department of Finance, Police Department, the Fire Department, and Municipal Court. Every department director is ready available with the exception of Mr. Salinas, but I may be able to answer any questions you have for him. Maybe. Mr. Salinas? Is he out of the conferences?
Oh, okay. Any questions at this time for any of the directors? No? We're good? Good, okay, we're good. Okay, at this time, Mr. Rona, we're pretty much
Yes.
good, yeah, we can move on, sir.
Okay, the next item under public hearing. Today we have hold a public hearing for the conditional use permit for the self-alcoholic beverages for off-premise consumption at the proposed Cavazos drive-through located at 4202 North Raul Longoria Road, legally described as Lot 11, Placita Piedra Grande subdivision, as requested by Ms. Alexis Cavazos. Or Ms.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Mr. Alexis Cavazos is applying for a conditional use permit for the sale of alcoholic beverage for off-premise consumption at the proposed Cavazos drive-through, formerly known as Bikini's drive-through. The property is located along Raul Longoria Road, south of Minnesota. The property is located in a general business district, C2, and we send letters to the surrounding property neighbors within the 200-foot radius, as well as newspaper advertisement. The proposed operation hours for the business are Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 a.m., Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 a.m., and Sundays from 12 to 12 a.m. Some of the conditions listed in the packet are to comply with a TABC license, occupational permit, annual license, parking, noise, security cameras, and non-smoking ordinance to the city. Staff recommends approval of the conditional use permit subject to comply with a list of requirements attached to the packet. And we have Mr. Cavazos here in the audience in case you have any questions for him.
Okay. Let me go ahead and open it up, okay? At this time, I'm gonna go ahead and open it up, under public hearing at 6:13 PM. Is there anyone here for or against? For or against? Would you like to make any comments, sir, or you okay? Okay, once again, anyone here for or against? If not, any questions, members from the commission? So it was a 5-0 vote, right? Unanimous, okay. Okay, hold on, let me close it. Okay, with that being said, then I'm gonna go ahead and close this at 6:14 PM. Go ahead.
Make a motion to go ahead and allow this gentleman with the permit.
Permit. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, under appointments, consider the removal and appointments to the Economic Development Corporation Board.
On this one, Mr. Juana, I know I had spoken with you kind of briefly on this, but this was not the exact board that I was asking. Maybe, I mean, that kind of been my fault. I should have emailed you. What I was asking was for the Civil Service Board on this one. So you had nothing to do with it. It was basically, I think, my fault. I should have emailed you. So I think it was in my lack of communication on my part on it. So at this time, I'd like to just go ahead and take a no action on this item. Okay? So I'll get with you on for our next meeting on the, go ahead, sir.
Okay, so that being said, the next item under discussion and possible election, preliminary plat approval of the Hacienda San Fernando subdivision being 18.45 acre tract of land out of Lot 7, Block 9, and Lot 5, Block 13, John Clausen subdivision located approximately 500 east on Nebraska Avenue along the south side of Moore Road as requested by Big D Engineering.
Big D Engineering is applying for a preliminary approval of the Hacienda San Fernando subdivision. The property is located along Nebraska Avenue and Moore Road, just west of Southgate Terrace subdivision. The proposed subdivision will have 71 residential lots, and some of the conditions listed in the packet are to loop the 8-inch water line, extend the 8-inch sewer line to the property, the installation of 6 fire hydrants, street lighting, sidewalks, and 50-foot utility easement around the subdivision. Staff recommends approval of the preliminary plat, subject to comply with a list of requirements.
Questions? No? Okay. With that being said, is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Under contractual resolutions, consider authorizing city manager to enter into policing agreement between the PSJ's Independent School District and the City of San Juan Police Department. Chief?
Good evening, Mayor, Commission. Chief, come up here. Real quick.
Good evening, sir.
As you all aware, this is an annual contract we do, an agreement, obviously with the new Chief of Police at PSJ School District, Chief Garcia here. We've been working in partnership, and we're going to be working a lot in partnership, and it's just a continuous effort. They plan to move into the police department pretty soon here, so have the chief.
Yes, sir.
discuss it.
This contract is basically the same format that we've been doing for many years with the 3 cities. The only difference with this one is it's going to be a short-term 6-month contract. Our eventual online date for our own police department will be February 1. We're giving ourselves a cushion. Once this MOU is signed, I can submit our application, get certified. They're telling me it's a 90-day turnaround time, so I'm giving myself a little extra cushion just in case there's some hiccups that we need to meet. But this is basically the same contract that you guys have been approving for the past few years. Just the one change is that it's going to be short-term, not the full school year. Yes, sir, February 1.
And also, I want to also commend the chief here for his employees and personnel, immediate action in assisting our officer that was thrown off the motorcycle. Just want to thank him for, allowing them to react quickly and call for help and assist them as best as they can. So appreciate that, Chief.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Any questions for Chief Garcia at this time? Go ahead, sir. Yes, sir.
I know there's going to be hiccups in our line of work, and I totally agree with you with that cushion. As far as my part, whatever assistance you need from our city and the chief of police, I'm pretty sure he's out there to help you out. I'm willing to help out and build those partnerships with the school district. And that's a prime example of what happened yesterday, you know. We wouldn't have anybody in play. We couldn't have that response from your department. So little it is, you know, that was very important and crucial to safeguard our police officers, regardless of the nature of it. Our police officers are exposed to all kinds of hazards, and it just so happens that you were there at the time and you were able to help out. Thank you very much.
Yes? No. Is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chief.
The next item, consider authorizing city manager to enter into memorandum of understanding between the San Juan Police Department and the PSJ School District outlining policies and procedures.
Yes, that's his format with this as well. Obviously, the chief, in a short period of time, has done a quick turnaround and has moved a lot of things quicker. And that helps us a lot, you know, that department, because we, you know, it allows us for apply the resources that we need to apply to other areas of the city. So, and I think yesterday was an example of that. Traffic was congested there, so we couldn't push in many units there. So he was able to take control of the situation and allow his personnel to do the security traffic control there. So that allows us to continue answering to calls for service. So I think that's part of that policies and procedures that he's implemented as well. So, Chief.
So one of the main things on this MOU is that part of my requirement for the application process to get certified and recognized as an agency is I have to come up with a plan to house any adult prisoners that I may have. Of course, I'm not going to build a prison inside an elementary campus or a high school campus, so I reached out to Chief Gonzalez to see if we could house or any adult prisoners at the San Juan Police Department. We've done this with all 3 cities already as well. The main thing is, now that San Juan has jailers, my main concern and my main priority is the safety of the kids, regardless if they're arrested or not. So I want to have them in an environment where they're going to be monitored by jail staff at all times and then presented to the judges as soon as possible. So this MOU is going to outline that part as far as any adult arrest. The juveniles that are detained will still be taken to our police department and our facilities, and we'll process them there, whether released to mom or send them off to the juvenile detention. But the MOU here outlines that, as well as TLIT's operations for criminal histories that we're going to need, any license plate check or investigative purposes, routine checks and what have you. So this outline is my last piece that I need to be able to send off that application by the end of the week.
Getting there.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's a work in progress.
So the juveniles will be housed over
I
here?
will not
right?
house any juveniles within the agency.
So any juvenile that's in custody, you guys would handle them over there?
Correct. The building that I am currently in, where they gave me, is going to be old central office on one of the rooms that they gave me is going to be designated a juvenile processing area. Once that's walled off and put cameras and audio and visual equipment, that's where we'll take our juveniles to get processed. We'll make a phone call to the juvenile detention. If they accept them, we'll take them over there. If they don't, then we'll release them to mom there in our office.
Now, as far as, Chief, at this time, do we have any canines?
We don't. We're in the process of looking for them.
So, okay, let's say you do get any
purchasing some,
canines. Does this MOU cover?
No, sir. That one would be a separate MOU
Okay.
that we do currently with FAR and Alamo. That question was asked at last week's school board meeting. They did ask why there wasn't a San Juan contract. I explained to them that we had just retired our canine and that I still say we, I'm sorry. San Juan retired their canine. And
You're still part of us.
Process is
Yeah.
getting.
So as soon as they get another one, we want to be able to
Commissioner,
come back with an MOU. and do
Okay,
that.
so that'd be a separate,
Yes, sir.
perfect, okay.
The other, Mayor, if I may, the other
Yes, sir.
positive thing that we're doing now that we have the police department here and Chief Garcia there with all his knowledge in narcotics and so forth and dealing with juveniles, we are proposing have a first offender program
Great.
that other school districts have, like La Jolla and stuff like that. So not only he's coming in with a good format, good attitude, stuff like that, but the first offender program dealing with first offender juveniles. So that would be another program that will allow us to have a good relationship in the community. So we're going to work together on that and get with a judge on this and others, how other cities are doing. But I think it's having the police department there will allow us to have really an effective first offender program for juveniles. For
Great.
juveniles,
Good deal.
get them back on track.
Yeah, yeah.
Very effective, you know, I actually work hand in hand with La Jolla ISD,
yeah,
so,
you do.
I know firsthand that that program does work for our community. Not only our kids, give them back into the good side of the society. You know, instead of kind of put them on the side, you actually bring them back to your regular school. So that's kind of the programs that they use, and it's very effective. And man,
That,
and thank you
they
for
are
doing that.
very conscious about labeling a student right
Right.
away, early
Right.
in their development. That's something that we
Try to avoid
we
those
try to avoid
subcultures.
at all costs and keep all law enforcement contacts positive and show them that there are different avenues and different ways they can do things.
I mean, it helps them, I obviously get discipline, as far as, their goal is to get that charge dismissed, part of that first offender program. Because you guys know this, that once you have some kind of conviction on your record, it can haunt you for the rest of your life. So this gives them the opportunity to, work on this, but that's awesome. Good job. With that being said, any other, questions or comments to both chiefs? If not, is there a motion to approve? Second,
Second.
all those in favor say aye?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
The next item, consider authorizing city manager to advertise for requests for proposals for the bank depository services. Mayor Commissioner, the last time we got a new depository services contract was back in 2016, and that was for 2 years with the option to extend it for an additional year, which we did already. It'll be expiring in November, so this will give us plenty of time to advertise and get some proposals in, and then present them to you, obviously.
Okay,
So all I'm asking is permission to go out and advertise for.
okay, that's it, okay. Is there a motion to approve?
Hold on, Mayor. So we're doing this because it's ready to expire, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
November.
And this is the Plains Capital Bank is the bank that we have overall for the city?
That's the one that we're currently using, yes.
Okay.
Bank with the EDC in the city? Same one? It
Yeah,
should
but
be
this, we're talking about here, just this.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, there's no correlation, right? Okay, good.
Okay, with that being said, is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Is there a second? All those in favor say aye?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next item is consider adoption of resolution establishing a new, not updated, that was a mistake, Parks and Recreation Master Plan for fiscal year 2019. Mr. Patrick and Ms. Bagley is here again with us. Thank you for coming. And they did a fantastic job in putting the master plan together.
Hey, good evening, Mayor Commission. With us here today, we have Ms. Ann Bagley. She was the consultant on the new 10-year master plan, Parks Master Plan. The one that we had prior was 9 years old? It's now 10. Well, now it's 10. So at the time that we started this process, we figured it was just going to be best for all parties just to do a new one. So we've done that over the year. It's taken us right about a year to complete, and included in your package was the plan. I think we put in some very attainable goals for the city to help with our growth that we're having currently and in the future. So I have Ms. Bagley here to answer any questions, and I think she's got a short little presentation to give you.
Sure.
First of all, I want to thank you all, Mayor, members of the commission. This is my third project to wrap up with you all, so it's been a pleasure. This new Parks Master Plan follows the guidelines of Texas Parks and Recreation Department. And they are not required, but they are highly recommended when you do look at grant applications to Texas Parks and Wildlife. It follows that. It starts with an introduction, talks about plan development process, developed a whole new set of goals, 8 of them. The first one being really to take care of what you have. I think that's important before you run out and try to get more parks. It sets park facility standards, concepts. There's an inventory of the parks facilities and programs. And I want to compliment Myra in the IT department. She took the pictures, and they're lovely. The needs assessment looks at demand-based needs and standards-based needs, and just what you want in the city. And you're really right up there with the rest of the cities as far as parkland around, and as far as per capita parkland. the plan implementation lays out the next, what over the next 10 years we try to attain as your goals and actions. Please realize that this is a plan that is more a guideline and a working document. It does not bind you as a city commission to any funding of any of these programs. These are recommendations. It's up to him to talk to you about what kind of funding he needs. So with that, would like to recommend to you and thank you for the work here and for the resolution for this adoption of this plan. Thank you. And I have any questions? Thank you.
How long did it take for you to
Pardon?
finish this project?
Pardon?
How long did it take?
Took a little over a year.
It was right.
It was kind of, well, it was kind of running parallel to the comprehensive plan, which you adopted back in June.
Exactly. Yeah.
The format is basically the same. It's just very similar. So they're kind of companion documents because you don't really want to put a parks plan and a comp plan because you're running on really parallel tracks. But it's been a pleasure to work with the city. The city staff's been wonderful to work with, and I'm just glad to have it on my resume.
Great. Any questions from the commission? If not, is there a motion to approve? Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Consent agenda, tonight we have meeting minutes for March 26, 2019.
At this time, is there anything that we need to amend or modify under consent agenda? Amend or modify? With that being said, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next item on the executive session, the Juan City Commission will convene an executive session in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Furnace, Texas statutes, and Code Sanitary Government Code, Chapter 551. I got 3 items tonight, pursuant to Section 551.087, Economic Development Negotiation, and 551.071, consultation with attorney deliberation regarding financial incentives to business projects and Project Square. Pursuant to Section 551.071, consultation with attorney, discussion and possible action regarding legal concerning longevity pay for non-civil service employees. And number 3, pursuant to Section 551.071, consultation with attorney, discussion and possible action regarding legal issues concerning the entertainment agreements for 2019 Noche de Paz for First Row Productions and Rogelio Garcia Cowboy Concerts and Events.
That being said, is there a motion to go into executive session? Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We will be going in executive session at 6:31 p.m. We're back from executive session at 7:26 p.m. Is there a motion to reconvene? Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Under executive session, under A1, we're taking no action. Executive session A2 and A3, no action at this time. Is there a motion to adjourn? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
This meeting has been adjourned at 7:26 p.m.